Hi there! Welcome to Cooking in Isolation with Bruce. Tonight we're going to do a pork chops, carrots, and potatoes done a special kind of way. Yeah, you're also going to need an onion, some garlic, salt and pepper. I use this stuff. It's called Southern Style Barbecue Spice. It's lovely. And some garlic salt, which I keep in a plastic baggie so it doesn't get all clumpy. First thing you're going to want to do is grab your potatoes. Make sure that they're clean. You've taken out all the little bits and pieces that don't look like you want to eat them, right? Take a knife, any kind of knife you like. Slice them up. And make them in bite-sized pieces. Now, as you can see, probably, I've got some water already boiling. So that's doing its thing. And once the potatoes are sliced, plop them into the pot. You're going to want to add some salt to the water, help it boil nice and evenly. There we go. That's going to do its thing over there. Okay, next thing we're going to do, prepare the pork. It's nice to let the pork sit and warm up a little bit outside the fridge before you fry it. So this has been sitting out here for about 20 minutes. A little bit of salt and pepper. There we go. Some of this lovely spice. Right. Flip those over. There we go. Cool. Set them aside for later. Good. Rinse that out. Next thing you want to do is prepare for the other stuff. One thing you want is maybe a clove of garlic. And if you ever wondered how to easily skin a piece of garlic, take the ends off on the counter, give it a smush, and everything else just peels off right easy. Oh, I got a bad piece. Let's get another one. Alright, once again, take the ends off, give it a smush. Not too hard, just a tap. That takes all the skin off. You can use a garlic press. I have one. It sucks, I don't bother. So I just chop it nice and fine. Alright. Alright, set that aside for later. Gonna need a chunk of onion. There you go. I'd say about, if it's just one person, a wedge about yay big. Once again, take that outside skin off. And chop nice and fine. Okay. Now those potatoes are going to want to boil for about 5 minutes. Get your carrots out. Little baby carrots is what I use. Make sure you don't have any of those little butt ends on the end there. They're gross. Easy enough to get rid of. Boom. Right, we're going to wait for the potato to start to finish boiling. We'll be right back. And we're back. While you were away, I turned on the frying pan so it would get nice and hot. What we're going to do is we're going to throw a dollop of margarine in there. You hear that puppy sizzle? Might be a little hot, down to a medium heat. Spread the butter around. Okay. Throw the garlic in first. Right? Let that fry. Yeah, it's a little hot. Pan's a little hot. That's okay. I'm not used to putting it on ahead of time like that. Wait till you can smell the garlic fill the room. I know your neighbors might think you suck, but too bad, you're going to eat well tonight. After you let that sizzle just a little bit, throw in your onions. Spread them around, let them all mix up. What you want to do is you want to fry off the onions until they're, just starting to turn a little bit clear. Right? You see the garlic browning up nicely. That's what you want. See that? Garlic's in there browning up nicely. Onions are turning clear. Doesn't take very long, just a minute or two. And without turning off the heat to your potatoes, just scoop them out and throw them in. Don't worry about a little bit of water. That's not going to bother anybody. Right? The reason you don't dump out the water is you want that nice hot potato water to keep boiling. And is it boiling? Because we're going to put the carrots in there any minute now. As soon as that starts boiling again. Alright, you want to keep those potatoes and onions and garlic nicely doing its thing. Mix that all up nicely. You want to add salt, lots of salt. Salt's always good. Lots of pepper. There we go. Oh, that's lovely. So that's the way it should look, if you can see it. Right? Maybe throw another dollop of margarine on there just to give it a little moisture. Now, obviously this isn't a scratch and sniff video, but if you could smell this, oh boy, does it smell good. Right, let's throw the carrots in the water. Carrots are going to take about 5 minutes to cook. With the carrots, you want them coming out firm, but not mushy. And the potatoes, realistically, you could leave these potatoes frying in here for as long as you want. For me, I like to get them as brown as possible. I've left them in the frying pan for as much as 15 minutes. Get them nice and dark and nice and brown. I find that the tastiest for me. But we're just going to do that there. I'm going to set that aside. And we're going to wait for the carrots to finish boiling and the potatoes to finish frying. And I'm just going to keep doing this. Right? And you'll see them get browner and browner as we go along. Give that plate a rinse. I'm going to put that leftover onion in a Ziploc baggie. We'll keep that onion fresh for the next time because I'm not using the whole thing. There we go, lovely. Let's see, the carrots should be boiling here. Oh, not quite yet. Good golly, it really cooled down. It doesn't matter because you want those potatoes to take their time frying. So, let me tell you a story. No, I don't have a story to tell you. I'd love to tell you a story, but I am curious what everybody's doing in this isolation. For me, it's no big deal. I'm quite accustomed. I live on my own, don't have any family here. People generally don't like me very much, so I spend a lot of time on my own. But I learned to cook from my folks. My folks were always into all kinds of gourmet stuff. They actually founded a gourmet society when we were kids back home in the Ottawa area. So we always grew up with a pretty good appreciation for good food. I'm not fancy, but I do like something that tastes good. And again, I'm going to bring that bottle back up here because that's this Southern style barbecue. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Yeah. This stuff is great. I don't know. I put it on all meats and it just tastes lovely. Carrots are boiling now. Trying to think of something else I can do while we're waiting. Anyway, so we grew up, with coq au vin and beef Wellington and all kinds of wonderful foods, and just had an appreciation for it. So one of the nice things about having a lot of free time is I get to cook. And now that carrots are starting to boil, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer and move things ahead a little bit. I'm going to put the frying pan on an element over there, and switch out the pan, but I want the potatoes to keep cooking while the carrots are cooking, because we're going to bring on my grill, and we're going to get the pork chops going. Now you saw I just put a little bit of butter on the pan there. I'm French and Canadian, so we eat a lot of butter. It's just I don't know, it's just a habit, I guess. You don't need to put butter on, and it's more or less a no-stick frying pan, but I like to put a little bit of butter on there. So we'll slide those pork chops on. Pork chops won't take too long. I mentioned the garlic salt, which is what I normally use on the potatoes rather than the fresh garlic, just because I'm lazy and I don't want to crush the fresh garlic. But for you guys, I did the fresh garlic. Also, we're going to need some brown sugar. I almost forgot. A little bit of brown sugar, which is also in a baggie. You'll see where that comes in later. It's the best part of the day. Those pork chops are starting to fry up. Let's see if I can get those to fit better on that pan. Alright, see how nice and brown those potatoes are starting to look? That is what you want to go for. Nice and crispy. But don't burn them. It's kind of, you don't need to burn them. You just brown them. And even when they're done, leave them on the heat. Just because it keeps them nice and fresh and hot. I like my food on the plate bloody hot. Fresh out of the pan. Now what we're going to do here, since we've got the outside, one side done. Pork chops don't take too long to cook. That's the nice thing about pork chops. These have a bone in them, so they'll take a little bit longer. And I'm going to cover them. That generally helps them cook a little faster. But don't cover them before you sear one side. You want to sear one side, flip them over, then cover them, and then they cook inside their juices. But if you cover it with a raw side up, then it kind of boils that layer, and it's not really as nice. You'll find the pork gets a little bit chewy after that too. Test my carrots. Almost done. Tasty little buggers. Carrots you can cook to taste. I mean, really, they don't need to be soft and mushy. They really should just be firm and tasty. Potatoes are doing really nice over here. See that? How lovely they look. And we might have a pause here. I might take a pause because we got to let the pork cook. And that'll probably take about 7 or 8 minutes for those two pork chops to cook properly. So let's take a pause. We're back in a minute. Okay, we're back. It's only been about a minute and a half or so, 2 minutes. I'm going to check my pork chops and flip them over. Oh yeah. Got a nice little dark sear on them. See how lovely they look? Yum, 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 yum. Pork chops, you want to get just the other side of pink. Really, most people probably prefer it gray. I'm checking the inside now. You can see that, let's bring that up here. You can see obviously that is not done when it still kind of looks like raw meat, but it's not cooked yet. I didn't think it would be cooked. I just wanted to show you what it would look like. So I flipped them over again, cover them again. Now we're going to start dealing with the carrots. I'm going to turn the heat down on the carrots all the way to the low setting, and I'm going to get the water out of that pot. Right. Okay, got all the water out of the pot. And as you can see, just a few lovely little carrots in there. I'm going to throw in some margarine. Mix that up. Right. A little bit of salt. Not too much. Some pepper. I like pepper. Always season to what you like. And the secret ingredient, about that much brown sugar. Just sprinkle that on top. Not too much. Give it a swirl. You can just leave that on the element on a low heat while you wait for your pork chops to finish. Mix it all in nicely. Cover that up. Let that sit until the pork chops are ready. Oh man, I'm hungry. Alright, let's check these puppies out. See, darkening up there. Let's slice into the other one, see what it looks like. See that? I don't know if you can see it at all, but right down here, it's still a little pink, still a little fleshy. So probably needs, covered on the other side, maybe 2 minutes. So I'm just going to cover that up, and let it cook. So, that's about it. Basically what we've got is grilled pork chops with salt and pepper and this lovely southern barbecue spice. We've got twice cooked fried potatoes with fresh garlic, salt and pepper, and we've got some baby carrots with butter, salt and pepper, and brown sugar. Oh, onions in the you have to put the onions in the potatoes. They're absolutely wonderful. So let's plate this puppy. Let's get our lovely potatoes out here. Okay, don't forget to turn off your elements when you're done with them. Pretty good idea not to burn your house down. Okay, give it a nice mix in. Now, what you can do is you scoop out your carrots. Alright, and because you got a lot of leftover butter and sugar in there, you might not want that all over your plate. Just drizzle a little on. It's more than enough. Mostly it's just there to, to fry into the carrots while you're doing it. You don't need to put it all on. Right? Yeah, that's lovely. Good. Back down to our pork chops. And I'm going to cut a slice off to show you what it looks like when it's cooked. Okay, there we go. It's white all the way through, just a hint of pink there. That is one cooked pork chop. And it is lovely. And if you want to double check, make sure you cut it in by the bone. That's where it takes the longest to cook, and as you can see, it's just a little pink, but more than cooked. Oh, put it over here. So there you have it. Pork chops, potatoes, and carrots. Hope you enjoyed cooking in isolation with Bruce. See you next time. Bye-bye.